What's up everyone, my name's Zach. Welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to go over the NZXT S340 Elite. Being an owner of the original S340 and seeing the upgrades and changes made with the new rendition made me immediately fall in love with it. Having a full tempered glass panel instead of a plastic window, as well as having an all-steel construction, made a huge difference in the quality of the case. This case really shows off the components inside with pride. The tempered glass panel is held on with 4 captive thumb screws, and it's got a little bit of a tint to the glass to help with the reflections, but I think it's still pretty reflective. The all-steel exterior makes it heavier than the original S340, coming in at about 18 pounds, which I think is about a 2-pound difference between the two, which paired with the tempered glass is why the Elite cost about $30 more, bringing the cost to about $100. Although recently I've seen it down at $89 on Amazon. The enhanced building materials isn't where it stops though. The case was designed with virtual reality in mind. Every Elite case comes with a dedicated HDMI port and 2 USB 3 ports on the top panel. So no more reaching behind the PC fiddling with cables from awkward angles trying to line up the right connection. NZXT also added a nice magnetic puck that can be stuck to the case anywhere, other than a glass panel obviously. This gives you a place to hang headsets and twirl up the cord to keep everything nice and neat. The puck can also be separated, which gives you a larger span for wrapping cords up. NZXT was the first to offer this very nice feature, and is arguably one of the best accessories for a PC gamer or enthusiast could ask for. The ability to have your headset neatly stored right away at your fingertips is great. For those wondering about specs, the case measures 474 meters high, 432 millimeters long, and 203 millimeters wide, the exact same dimensions as the S340, which I personally think is a great mid-tower size. It's not too big, but large enough to fit some high-end components into. Up to a 280 millimeter radiator can be installed, although it is to be noted that the Kraken 280 millimeter installed on my build is very tight. And if you're using any other brand, I would encourage you to do some research on the size and the angle of the hose fittings, making sure there's enough clearance in the case. Without a radiator installed, you have 364 millimeters of GPU clearance, but adding a radiator limits you to only 334 millimeters. The case ships with one 120 millimeter exhaust fan on the rear. An extra 120 or 140 millimeter can be installed on the top panel. There are 7 expansion slots and enough drive bays to hold 3 SSDs on the front and 2 hard drives under the shroud, and you can also substitute the hard drives for the SSDs up under the shroud as well. Support for the different style motherboards is quite normal nowadays, and this case can hold a mini ITX, a micro ATX, as well as a standard ATX board. Up top, the added I/O ports bring an HDMI with VR support, 2 USB 3.0s, 2 USB 2.0s, a headphone jack, a mic jack, and a power button. Moving on to the interior, the Elite has a lot of focus on cable management. This time a new clamping system has made its way onto the rear of the case in 4 spots, enabling you to achieve a clean and hassle-free build. In my experience, I was able to route every cable needed through these clamps with ease, and none of them are shown from the front of the case, so that's a big thumbs up in that department. Other than that, not much has changed from the original S340 on the back of the case. The front, however, has had a couple different additions. One being the added SSD mount on the right side of the shroud, bringing the total mounts to 3 instead of 2. I like this feature because you can show off one in the front of the case, while the other 2 drives are sometimes hidden by the graphics card or other components. Another upgrade was the addition of a full dust filter on the bottom of the case. Before it was just a mesh sheet, which I didn't really care for at all. It seemed a bit cheesy to me. But the Elite houses a full filter, somewhat modeling the dust filter featured on the front of the case, which I really like. I put together some clips of my own build to help show off the potential that this case really has and what you can do with it. I've been using this case for quite some time now, and I still love it just as much as I did when I purchased it. The case really shows off your build, and if you add some LEDs inside, it really starts to stand out. Heck, sometimes I just turn it on to have some glow in the room because it's just that beautiful. If you're on the verge of buying this case, it was a pleasure to build in for me, and I highly encourage it to anybody. Well, this wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you were able to take something from it. Leave me a thumbs up and comment if you have any questions, and I'll get back to you and answer what I can. If you would like to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel and give me a heads up. Let me know what you want to see or what you want me to review or go into detail with on the next video, and I'd greatly appreciate the ideas. But thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.